I just gotta show you this. Isn't that gorgeous? And there's not even a finish on it yet. Well folks, it's a new day, new camera. What I've been working on is the helm console on the starboard side, and now I've got to make one for the port side. And the port side's going to be a little different. It's going to be a cabinet with doors and the flip up lid, the same as the helm. And I started to try and cut the pieces manually, and that didn't work too well. So I had to jury rig some sort of way to cut the panels square on the table side. So my first attempt was this gizmo, and it did not work. It works on small pieces, but anything bigger than, you know, a foot square piece of plywood, it doesn't work. So I've jury rigged myself this little thing. I don't know what you call it. It's got two runners that fit in the slots. Goes in here like this. It allows you to place the panel in here and get nice square cuts. When I built it, I squared it up to the blade, and it worked pretty good. So I've got two of the sides cut, and this is going to be Lori's little enclave on the boat, and she's going to carry a laptop and a tablet probably with us when we go, and so she'll have the angled top to her little console there. She'll have storage underneath, USB outlets, everything you actually need. So I'm just going to carry on. I've got to cut angles on these now, and we'll show you how it works. GoPro, stop recording. So this is kind of cool. This is GoPro 11 Black. Yeah, this is a GoPro 11 Black, and this is adding a whole new dimension to my shooting. I can now preview everything that's going on my phone. I can start and stop the camera without touching it, which is good when you're working with epoxy and paint and crap on your hands. You're not going to get it all over your camera. Like my other two castles, they're all covered in epoxy and filler, fairing compound, whatever. They still work. I'll use them as you know, second camera wherever I can, but this GoPro is going to be the main camera now, and sometime today the accessory is going to arrive to allow me to use my wireless microphones with this camera. So no matter where I go around the boat, we should get good audio, and audio has been a real chore, as you've seen, to work with the Acasos. They don't support wireless third-party microphones, which was a pain or a pisser. Yeah, it just sucks. Anyways, they're good cameras, but they are what they are. This one's a whole new dimension. So what I'm doing today is, these are the side panels for Lori's console, or whatever you want to call it, and I've got to cut an angle on it for where the lid will fold down, and she can put her laptop or her tablet on it, fold it up the same as the helm console. I'll stick a picture in here, that'll show you that. So I got some very technical drawings this morning. You can see I've got it all drawn out in the dimensions, and even had to do some math. I can do math, you know, math is hard, but I can do it. So that's what I'm going to do. There's not much to tell you about it. All you need is a ruler. This one is metric and freedom units. So I've been working at freedom units. I know Canada's been metricized for, I don't know, 50 years or more, and it was taught at school, but it just never clicked. And everything that we did growing up, working on cars or building people's houses, was all done in standard measurements. So the top upper edge that remains fixed is 2 inches wide, and then it slopes down to I'd have to do math. About 2 inches down. 27 3/16 of an inch. Which comes to right about there. So it's not a very steep angle. And I'm going to cut both panels at the same time. So there's probably a pretty good chance this could go south, but I'm going to clamp the pieces together. And we'll cut it by hand with the circular saw. I'm going to lift the piece up off the table, set it on a couple of bricks. That's not going to hurt. Rufus. This is not the cherry ply. So this is not the cherry ply. This is CDX, which is an exterior grade sheathing. It's 12 millimeters thick. What I'm planning to do with this is take some of the 1/4 inch cherry veneer plywood and laminate it to this. So we'll end up with panels that are about 3/4 of an inch thick. And that should make for a nice beefier helm console, because this one is going to be an open box with 2 doors on the front, so a little more structure is not going to hurt. So engage your safety squints, and hopefully we won't mess this up. I'd say that went pretty well. I stayed off the line a little bit. Be able to trim that down with the sander. So that's step 1. So I found a couple pieces, and this one is just barely big enough. There's a tiny little sliver at the bottom that's not going to get covered. And the other one I found is plenty big enough. So if I make this one the outboard side of the cabinet, it'll pretty much be hidden and no one will see it. So excuse me. I'm just going to mark these and then I'll cut these out. So we're going to do this exactly the same way we did it with the 1/2 inch plywood, and this should give us the panels that we need to cover the sides. Breath. So now I get to pick and choose which side is which. This would be the outboard side. That would make the inboard side. And this would make the outboard side. So I'm just going to buzz this one down to size, and then we'll be on to the next step. But I think I'm going to trip you up. I'll put you there. I'll back you off a bit, and I'll zoom it in post-production. So just as a bit of a demo, I have to cut this off square. It's not square now, so we'll use our handy dandy improvised, made of totally 100% scrap material. I don't know what they call these, a panel sled or something. All it takes is getting it lined up. Contact. Quick and easy. Easy peasy. And you certainly can't get that level of accuracy with handheld circular saw. GoPro, stop recording. So I got my good side of plywood on what's going to be the outboard, sorry, the inboard side of the cabinet. So this is the surface that will show, and that's the one I want. So I've just got to trim the angle on the top, and then we'll grab some glue. No fingers were harmed in the making of this video. So as you've seen in my previous videos, we've got options for laminating veneers to plywood. Plywood to plywood really isn't that much difference, other than we've got to get it on nice and straight. I think this time my only other choice right now is epoxy, brush on contact cement or 3M Super 77. And if you remember when I did the destructive testing on the flooring panels, the 3M Super 77 performed really well, so that's what I'm going to use today. So the instructions say to let that tack up for 3 to 5 minutes. So just make sure I get the corners, and then we'll flip it over and attach it. So we really only get one shot at this. There's no repositioning of the pieces when they're put together. So what I've done in the past, and I don't want to get glue on this, is I put some dowels on this so I can locate the other piece on the top, right over top. Sticky side down. works better with veneer. I'll try and get this edge down square. Apply a little pressure, work out any bubbles. So we're back here with side B, and this will be just exactly the same. So I will keep my mouth shut, and you can watch me work. Okay, we'll be back in 5 minutes. GoPro, stop recording. So it's been 5 minutes, and our glue is tacky, but it doesn't come off on your finger. That will tell you that it's ready. And when using these laminate rollers, it's pretty important to keep them clean, especially with veneer, because the veneer is so thin that any little chunk of schmutz that's on there, you'll just drive it into the surface. And I've got a few defects on my other panels where that was an issue, so we're going to go through the same process. I know it's not all that great, but it helps me get this right the first time, because there's no going back. Otherwise I have to start from scratch. We'll see how this works. Here goes. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, sweet. Jumping Jeebus. You'd almost think I knew what I was doing. Holy frig. So there's our matching panels. These are going to need a little bit of sanding. I don't know if you can notice the color of this one, which is the actual plywood, and this piece here is the MDF core, which was the original I used. It's a bit darker because it's been here longer. So a little sanding and some stain, and then we'll finish these panels. So these two pieces are pretty small, so I'm just going to sand them by hand. Got a fresh piece of 220, and I'm just going to go over them lightly. Removes any fuzzy. This piece has got really nice figure in the wood, and this is the inboard panel, which is going to be seen. This one is the outboard panel, and probably only about this much will actually be seen, but for consistency I did it the same with the main bulkheads, is just laminate it and attach the rest of the furniture over top of it. So this is the Varathane gel stain that we used before, and it's really nice. I think you've seen the results if you've seen our previous videos. And because it's such a small part, I'm just going to use a cheap chip brush to put it on, and we'll let it sit for about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll come back and wipe it off. Which is really, look at this stuff, it's like ketchup. It smells funky, but it works. It works well. I'm really happy with the color that we got with this. Compared to the Minwax, comes out lighter. So here we go. There you have it. That's all there is to that. Nothing special. And we'll give that a good 10 minutes to soak in, and that's a hammer. We'll give that 10 minutes to soak in, and then we'll wipe it off. It'll take an hour or so to dry, and then we can start to apply our Varathane finish. I just gotta show you this. Isn't that gorgeous? There's not even a finish on it yet. It's going to be a shame that most of this is hidden. That turned out just as nice. That's absolutely gorgeous. So this has got to sit for an hour or so till it's dry to the touch, and then we'll put the Varathane on it. GoPro, stop recording. So it's time to put a finish on these panels. Probably 3 or 4 coats. It's going to be sufficient. It'll take a few hours in between coats for the Varathane to cure, but the first step is to make sure there's no schmutz all over your panel, because I can see some already. I think these are going to come out very nice. It's a little cool today, so I might have to give them a little extra time to harden up before we recoat. Probably falling off of me. I don't have dandruff because I don't have any hair. But there we go. So I bought a new brush. This one is supposedly professional grade for fine finishes, and I don't think it's a natural hairbrush. It doesn't say. No, it could be natural brush. So anyways, we're going to try this. The last one was a synthetic that I had, and I was constantly getting bubbles and stuff like that. So let's just start, see what we end up with. Bristle. Oh yeah, this thing's shedding bristles like crazy. It's hard to be clean in this environment. I mean, it is a tent. There's lots of wind coming through. It's full of sawdust. But these look like little white specks of, could be pollen or something that's blowing in the wind. And immediately sticks to the Varathane. The Varathane is very forgiving. As you can see, I can stick my fingers in it and just rebrush it. As long as you get it right away, it's fine. But this is already starting to set up, so Jesus Christ. This one is. This one looks really good. So we'll give that an hour. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Oh, this one's going south. Fuck me. Would he breathe?